Good afternoon. My name is Andrae Crismon, and I am with the Legal Aid Society, and along with my colleague, Bridget Stewart. We are here to share some information with you with Legal Aid Society's Facebook Live event, and we hope that it will be very helpful to you as we discuss our disaster relief services program. As I said, I'm Andrae. I'm with the Volunteer Lawyers Program. Bridget, you want to introduce yourself?
Of course, and I'm Stewart. I am the disaster response attorney.
Well, so we're going to jump right into this. What we're going to do is we're going to just give you a little brief overview of general services that Legal Aid Society of Middle Tennessee and the Cumberlands provides to our community. And then we're going to go, after we've kind of discussed that, going to talk a little bit with Bridget about the Disaster Relief Services Program, kind of how, what kind of precipitated having to have a disaster relief response. She's going to share a little bit about our program, who qualifies for our services, what areas is she focusing her advocacy in and under that umbrella of disaster relief services, and then some of the types of cases that we take in that program, along with some of the ones that we do not take. So at this time, we'll just jump right into telling you a little bit more about Legal Aid Society. Legal Aid Society is a general services nonprofit law firm to help those persons with their civil legal problems when they have little to no resources. We have about in the state of Tennessee and in the service area that we cover, about 13,000 citizens for every one Legal Aid Society attorney. So that lets you know a little bit about the need. We cover over 440,000 square miles in our 48 county service area. We're the largest legal services provider in the state of Tennessee, covering Middle Tennessee and right up to Knoxville in the Cumberland area. What we do is that we provide help to persons with in a number of general civil legal cases. We are oftentimes described as the equivalent, the civil equivalent to what the public defender's office does for persons who are accused of a crime and they're facing deprivation of their liberty. Unfortunately, while if you're facing that deprivation of your liberty under our federal and state constitutions, you are to be appointed counsel, even particularly if you can't afford it. Unfortunately, that's not the case as it relates to if you have a civil legal problem and you don't have the resources to be able to afford an attorney. And so if you're facing eviction from public or subsidized housing, or you're facing, you're in an abusive relationship and you need to get away from that abuser, or if you're being pursued in court on a consumer action by a debt collector and you don't can't afford someone to represent you, there is no right under our system of laws, either federally or state constitution, to have legal assistance in those particular cases. And so we fill a gap that really makes us unique, because there really is no other competitor in town in terms of what we do. So let's just talk about a little bit about the types of cases that we take with Legal Aid Society. If you, back up there just a little bit there, Bridget. One more. There we go. All right, let's first, we deal with consumer and tax. I just mentioned the persons who have been sued on a consumer debt. Oftentimes persons are sued on a credit card debt or whatnot in General Sessions Court or other courts. Then we can assist for persons who qualify for our help in those types of cases. And just kind of give you an example, persons who qualify for our help must meet eligibility standards. Right now, that's right at 125% or below the federal poverty level to qualify for that help. We ask people to call us, even if you think that you may be close or you may be a little bit over, because there are certain deductions that we can take to see if we can help that person who's close to that 125 or maybe just be a little bit over to qualify. So as we go through this, don't try to pull out a slide rule or calculator. If you think that you may qualify, we definitely advise, please give us a call and let us see what we can do to get you qualified for our services. We know some persons, unfortunately, will be above that limit and might not be able to help. We also are able to help our seniors because there are a number of grants that allow us to assist them even without regard to income. So we have consumer debt collection cases, we have tax cases, persons who have a current controversy, tax controversy with the Internal Revenue Service. And so those are the types of cases that we'll take a look at to see if we can provide help. And of course, there are a number of other consumer cases to touch on persons who have being pursued. Maybe you're in a bad loan, school loan or whatnot, and that possibly that's been passed down to a collector. May be able to take a look at that. Sometimes persons have gotten into consumer trouble with a car place, car purchase. And so we can take a look to see if that was something that for us to provide help. Those persons with employment issues, sometimes persons are facing difficulties because they are, about to trying to get employment and they are on the a certain registry. We can look into those cases, abuse registry, to see particularly if that person is claiming that that's not, it's not right. It's old information, bad information, and that hinders persons from being able to get employment. Reentry cases, we have reentry attorney who helps assist with persons who are trying to get charges expunged. Sometimes persons are facing costs after they've gotten out of incarceration and they're back in society, and they're trying to get a job, but they also have these costs that are just kind of weighing them down. Sometimes we can file certain motions to get those either partially waived or sometimes totally waived to assist that person to getting back on their feet and on with their life. Family law cases where there's been domestic abuse, we mentioned that if you're trying to get an order of protection, we can assist with that. We've also assisted persons who need to get permanently separated by way of divorce from their abuser. And of course, there are cases where we have assisted with victims' compensation, persons who have been abused in such a way that there are certain programs with the government where we might be able to get cash payments for that person so that they can not only get out of that abusive relationship, but also be able to maybe get a U-Haul so that they can move their things out from that place that they share with their abuser. So those funds are often proved critical to victims. Health benefits and education from persons who have been denied some type of denied TN care, or they have been denied SNAP or some unemployment. Those types of cases we can assist with and often provide valuable help for our clients. We mentioned housing and eviction, persons who are basically facing eviction, about to have their housing choice voucher, also called Section 8, that voucher terminated. We can assist in those cases to make sure that they secure the home. We also have provided help in immigration cases with T visas and U visas. So that's just the tip of the iceberg, but those are some of the major areas in which we assist persons. Our representation is totally free for persons who qualify for our help. And so if you are someone listening, tuning in today, or you know someone in your church, in your community, your synagogue, your community center that you think could benefit from the help that we provide, please tell a friend, tell that neighbor, tell that person that you know that we are a resource that may be able to assist them. Where do we practice? We have 8 offices that cover the 48 counties, from all the way to our Oak Ridge office in the Cumberlands area, as you see, to Clarksville, Gallatin, the Tullahoma office, which is kind of southern Middle Tennessee, along with Columbia, just down the road in Murfreesboro, Cookeville office, as well as in Nashville. So these 8 offices cover the 48 counties that you see in color as you look at that particular slide. So just because the office is not in that your particular service area, if you live in a county that you see in this map that it has a color to it, then there's a legal aid office that serves that county. So feel free to give us a call. How do we help? Well, that lets you know that there are different levels of help. Sometimes it is actually going to battle in court, representation in adverse proceedings, and we do that. We have terrific attorneys in all 8 of our offices, advocates, paralegals, legal assistants that help support the work that we do to give our clients the best representation, even in those adversarial proceedings. So sometimes, though only about 10% of cases actually make it through the actual adverse hearing trial process, if it's a particular case that has to be litigated, we're fully equipped and ready and willing and able to do that. But also sometimes cases are counsel and advice, and we assist in those particular areas as well. And we have a range of information, legal information brochures on our website, www.las.org. They are arranged by topic so that you can see if you're having a money problem, if you're having a health problem, or financial issues, if you're having an issue relating to a benefit, you can go to those legal information brochures and you can see that information. And of course, that's something that's always available. We're working towards in-person clinics. Right now, we're at in the month of May, we're still by telephone to make sure that we are abiding by CDC measures. But as more people get vaccinated and things are opening up, we do definitely see us gravitating to some limited in-person clinics beginning next month. We also have a robust community education. I talked about our brochures. Those are shared. Bridget has done some of those in her practice as a disaster relief services attorney and gotten those to our community partners so that you can see, what services we provide and, if that's something that lines up with the particular problem that a person has. We provided representation in IEP meetings. That's under special education for children, and we've had some great success in that area. We also have an abundance of community partnerships, from working with the United Way in most of our service areas to local partners, community centers, domestic violence centers, family justice centers, all over our 48 county service area. We continue to treasure those partnerships and build new ones daily. All right. So at this time, we're going to give it over to Bridget for her to first just give us a brief description of what really kind of necessitated a disaster response from Legal Aid Society.
Right. So the disaster response program was created last year after the March 2020 tornadoes and, of course, the ongoing pandemic. We wanted to kind of expand our services and make sure that survivors are getting the legal civil representation that they needed. So in order to qualify for this program, as Andre mentioned earlier in the presentation, you do have to have financial eligibility, and it's up to 125% of the federal poverty level. And like Andre mentioned also, please don't worry about calculating it. We will calculate it for you. And because this program is focused on disaster relief, you have to have a legal issue stemming from either the ongoing pandemic, the March 2020 tornadoes, or the recent Nashville flood. So here are our areas of focus, and I just want to point out once again that this presentation is not meant to be legal advice. This is educational only. So our areas of focus, first is COVID-19. And these areas of focus aren't our only areas. These are just the areas that we're currently seeing the most of. But of course, if you have an issue that is not listed on here, please give us a call. So COVID-19, we're seeing a lot of people who are kind of confused about whether they should have gotten regular unemployment or pandemic unemployment assistance. And pandemic unemployment assistance was something that was created because of the ongoing pandemic. Evictions, foreclosures, collection defense, we can help. And unfortunately, we've seen a rise in domestic violence in general. So if you are experiencing any of those issues, please give us a call. For the March 2020 tornadoes, we're seeing a lot of contractor issues. People who are having problems with their homeowner or renter's insurance, FEMA assistance. And more recently, we're seeing a lot of people who weren't able to get assistance with rebuilding or repairs because they do not own their home. It's in a deceased family member's name. So if you need help with clearing your property title, please give us a call for that. The Nashville floods that occurred in late March of this year, we're seeing a lot of landlord-tenant issues. So for example, if your apartment, condo, or rental home was damaged and the landlord is refusing to repair, we would be happy to talk to you about your legal rights in that situation. If you lost documents because of the flood and you need help recovering those documents, we would also be able to help with that. Your landlord's duties, whether or not they have to repair, whether or not it was their responsibility to do something, we definitely can talk about that. Education issues. So for example, if you had to relocate because of the flood and you want your child at their school that they would have been in, but for the flood, we definitely have avenues to kind of help guide you through to get your child at the school that they would have been in, but for the flood.
So what, Bridget, you mentioned in terms of helping with obtaining documents, what if, I'm a homeowner and I've been living in, well, I'm living in a home and it's my parents and maybe something has happened where parents have died and, but just continue to live in that home. And, boy, with all the things that have happened, such as tornadoes and, the flooding, are there are there some programs, particularly for persons who are limited income? Are there programs out there that would help if my home got damaged in such a state? And, two, if that's the case, can I get that if I'm not on the deed, but I'm just living there? Could I be able to access these programs? If I'm not on the deed, would legal aid provide any assistance with a scenario like that?
That's a good question. So, Rebuilding Nashville, as well as the Tornado Recovery Connection, they have a lot of great community resources to kind of help you, connecting you with contractors and other things to repair your home. But oftentimes that assistance is limited to those who own their home, which means like your name is on the deed, your name is on the title. And we can assist with you putting your name on there if you're, deceased, it's your deceased parents or and you're in their home, and that's what clearing your property title means. So yeah, we can definitely assist with that. Obviously, we cannot help with the repairs themselves, but and as far as lost documents, if it's like your social security card, your birth certificate, things like that, we definitely can help you and guide you through that process as well. So of course, there are some cases that we cannot take. We cannot handle criminal matters. So for example, what often comes up is that if you paid for someone to do the work and they kind of just disappear on you, at that point, it becomes a criminal issue more than likely because that is theft. So we will not be able to assist in that situation. Also, due to limited resources, if you do not know where the other party is or their name, like they gave you a fake name or something, we won't be able to assist you fully. We might can give you some counseling advice. However, unfortunately, we do not have the resources to first locate them and then to find your legal situation. And unfortunately, not every barrier is a legal issue. And we do try to have a holistic approach, but some issues aren't going to be able to be helped by legal means. So, for example, if you're experiencing PTSD because of all these disasters that have honestly been back to back, we cannot assist you at legal aid with that. We have great community partners, and if you contact us, we will, we can send you to those community partners that will be able to connect you. But those issues aren't legal, so obviously legal aid will not be able to help in those issues. So this is our contact information. The disaster recovery program is based out of Nashville, but it does serve all of the counties that the Legal Aid Society of Middle Tennessee and the Cumberlands cover. So this is our 1-800 number. When you call, you will enter in your zip code and it will connect you with your local office and they will connect you with myself. If you are an organization and you would like to contact myself or Andrae, these are our emails. And if anyone has any questions, we will be happy to answer it.
We also want to let people know about our clinics, those that are full clinic schedule, free legal telephone clinics. That schedule is available at our website at www.las.org. You can click on free legal clinics and you can see our May schedule of telephone clinics, and those are available to our 48 county service area, so that you can just call in. We'll do the intake and take it from there, but we want persons to be aware of that great resource too. Any questions? All right. Well, I don't see any comments. Again, feel free to reach out to Bridget or myself at the emails that you see there on the PowerPoint. Obviously, you can contact the number that she mentioned if you want to apply for free legal help. We hope that once again that you'll tell a neighbor or friend that you may know has a legal problem, or if you yourself. We hope that you'll give us a call. We will do all of our level best to see how we can assist you. If we can't help you internally, as Bridget mentioned, we have a number of partners that we interact with daily that we will point you in the right direction for your legal issue. This concludes our presentation today on Legal Aid Society's Disaster Relief Services Program. We hope that you will stay tuned next week for our Legal Aid Society Facebook Live.
And thank you guys so much for being here.